It's your boy Heaven Hollywood back on the IE Network. This is the Heaven Hollywood Report, and let's get to it. So, Tory Lanez, we last left this situation. The last video I made was basically Tory Lanez saying he had nothing to do with it. August Alsina showing pictures of him being abused or showing pictures of him beat up, and basically saying that Tory Lanez ran down on him with his security. Now, I was still giving Tory Lanez the benefit of the doubt, only because a couple of things in August's story didn't sit well with me. The whole crack, I can tell because of the crackling of the, I mean, you were that close, you heard the crackling of the weed. That's one thing I didn't really say. And then he said, hey, I'm going to get better by healing myself with this August Alsina health cream. You know, so I didn't really like that either. So I was like, I'm just going to wait and see, because Tory's saying that, going on academics in front of millions of people and saying he had absolutely nothing to do with it. He was in the studio all night. So then this video resurfaces that proves at least one thing. It proves that Tory Lanez was there. This was in Chicago. It was at an event. All right. And I think it was like the comedy/R&B event, which he has now been dropped from. All right. He's now been dropped from this event. But here's the footage.
Hey, I wish you would have got that.
I did get it.
You did? Damn.
Don't do it. You already shot Maggie.
You knocked his ass out, Tory? You knocked him out? Tory said he just knocked August Alsina ass right out. One punch crushed him, Tory. He said one punch crushed his ass. Look up. He just did that.
Now, since then, some people have said there is some parking lot footage of them in the parking lot. I didn't get a chance to look at that or find that yet. Couple of things about this one. Boy, you can't stand them old instigating ass nigrids in the back, right? Tory said, oh, what, yo, you knocked him out, Tory? Yo, Tory said he just knocked August Alsina's ass out with one punch. I didn't hear him say that. He said he one punch crunched him. I didn't hear him say that either. Negro, you added your own caption. He may have came back and made a notion. He may have shook his head or whatever. But he didn't say nothing about, no, he one punch crunched him. I didn't hear Tory say that. And I also didn't hear. Tory said he knocked him out with one. No, you're saying he knocked him out with one punch. All right? That's not what August Alsina is saying. But that's what you're saying. But the bottom line is Tory Lanez said he wasn't there. He told DJ Academics he's not involved in any way. Then it turns out he was in Chicago for this event. So right there, it's not looking good that Tory Lanez is telling the truth, because a video has him placed at the scene. Another thing is one of my heavy hitters reported that their mom was at the show, and August Alsina couldn't go on because of that incident. That incident obviously happened, I guess, before August was going to go on. Or it may have happened the previous night and August couldn't go on the next day. I think that's what it was. I think it was happening the previous night, and August couldn't even go on stage for his next performance. All right? So there's people out there saying that August Alsina's show got canceled. Now, I know people saying, oh yeah, this looks like a prop. This looks like a publicity stunt. August Alsina isn't going to be messing up bags for a publicity stunt. Because who's to say he's going to make money out of this? There's no guarantee he's making money out of this. So, you know, Rip Michaels, he cut Tory Lanez from the tour. All right? And this is what Rip Michaels, I guess, put the show together. This is what he said. Now, take a listen to what he said. And he is, to him, It happened. Take a listen to what Rip Michael said.
About good times, bringing back that good energy, that good vibe, mixing your favorite R&B artists with your favorite comedians, and that vibe and that type of energy. When you get into the arena, when I tell you it's all love, it's taking it back to the time when women throw panties on stage, and that's happening. And last night in New York, we even stayed in politics and fellowship all the way to like 3 o'clock in the morning, went out to eat. So that's the vibe that we're having and continuing. So at this point, if anyone's not a part of that vibe and that energy that's bringing anything, then no, we will not have them a part of anything that we're doing.
So Tory's not going to be on the tour moving forward?
At this moment, no. At this moment, we'd have to proceed without him because we want to make sure that every person in that audience has a great time and a great feeling. And that synergy of each artist enjoying themselves and having a great time is what it's all about. There was no fight. Let's just be super clear. There was no fight. I don't know why people say it was a fight. That was not a fight. He was sucker punched by Tory Lanez. So that's pretty much what, I was there. It was when he was exiting the building. So it was just straight, like more of an assault type thing than anything. So Tory Lanez, what happened was that August, if you look at the video, August didn't speak to him because he was like, he talks a lot of stuff about him online, whatever that is. So he's like, well, keep that same energy. That's August's whole stilo. Keep that same energy. If you don't mess with me online, you don't mess with me. If you want to talk, mess with me. When you see me in person, just be that same person. Don't try to be real now. So when I guess he didn't speak to him and he just kept walking to go, I guess Tory felt away. And then Tory went in his dressing room, came back with all his bodyguards, and then followed him outside. When August was talking to him all politely, like, hey, man, listen, man, no disrespect, but, if you want to talk like man, we could talk like man. And he was talking to security, but he was surrounded by Tory Lanez security. He wasn't, and then when he turned his head, that's when, Tory Lanez just hit him. I've talked to August, and I've talked to Tory as well. Tory seemed very apologetic for it because he didn't want to mess up anybody's show. This is the Fall Back in Love jam, but at the same time, and I spoke to August, and August couldn't perform the other day because he had to go get his lip fixed, and he went to urgent care, and he got fixed up, so he missed the extra day on the tour, so he wasn't able to make the next day on the tour, which would have been New York. But he's healing well, and stitches and everything like that, so he apologized to his fans for not making it to the next show, and he let them know that when he goes back out, they'll definitely be on the next tour and get free tickets to the next show that he did.
So once again, there you have it. And if you notice something, here's the tea. If you notice, he said Tory Lanez was very apologetic, because he didn't want to mess up anyone's show, said another. But if you notice, once again, not making sure he's not apologizing for hitting August. I apologize because I didn't want to mess up anyone's show. Doesn't that sound a lot like his apology to Megan, but him making sure that he's not mentioning what he's apologizing for? Seemed very similar. Oh, I wasn't apologizing for that. You didn't hear me apologize for shooting you. You didn't hear me apologizing for that, but they know what he's apologizing for. Tory is very apologetic. He didn't want to mess up anyone. So he didn't say he's very apologetic for hitting August. Right? So he's very good at making sure he doesn't say words that incriminate him. But this ain't looking good for Tory Lanez. It's looking like he totally lied. Well, you already know he lied about the part about being in the studio, because you maybe you was in the studio by the time academics called you, but you said you were no involvement whatsoever in it. So, again, not saying that just because he's lying about this, he's lying about the Megan situation, but you look at it this way. Look at it this way. If he's lying about, if he can get mad about August Alsina not shaking his hand, and he can go and hit August Alsina because he was embarrassed, there was a lot of girls around laughing. If he can, that's narcissistic, personality and Napoleon complex. If he got that mad at August Alsina because he didn't shake his hand, that he would beat him up, what makes you think he won't get so mad at Megan, who was probably yelling, screaming at him in his face, embarrassing him, right? Probably embarrassing him. Want to go home, done with the argument because he now got caught messing with another girl, what have you. What makes you think he wouldn't get so mad, being intoxicated, that he pulled the gun out on her to try to scare her? And because he was intoxicated and really couldn't control his hand, his talking, his movement, he shot Megan, or shot the ground or shot, ricocheted off the car and caromed off the moon and then splattered on the ground and then hit her foot. It doesn't matter how it hit her foot. If he pulled the gun and it hit her foot, I don't care if it boomeranged off the sun. If any portion of that bullet hit her foot as a result of Tory Lanez pulling it out, he's going to be found guilty. And he should be. So we don't know if that happened. Like I said, still have to give him the benefit of the doubt on that, but you have to wonder if he lied about this and he got so mad at August Alsina because he didn't shake his hand. What's so far-fetched about him getting so mad at Megan for her cursing at him, probably fighting him and wanting to get out the car? What makes you think he wouldn't get so mad he pulled a gun out? It's your boy Heaven Hollywood for the IE Network. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with your friends.